December 2025 edition, Favorite Things, Turning Hobbies into Small Business Opportunities. And Max and Hope Enterline have found a way to convert those hobbies into actual revenue generators, along with
Oh,
the enjoyment generation, which is most important, of course. And so we wanted to learn more about their approach and what works for them, and things they're just starting out on. So some of this is brand new to them too, but to be able to pick their brain a little bit about what they've been doing and how it's started to evolve for them. A couple other things. Hope and Max are not affiliated with or endorsed by LPL Financial or Gateway Financial Partners. So this webinar is intended only for educational purposes and shouldn't be construed as financial advice or tax or legal advice for that matter. We'll spend about the first 20 minutes on the interview and then 5 to 10 minutes for some Q&A. You're welcome to email questions to Shannon, and that email address would be shannon.day@mygfpartner.com, or you can just do at lpl.com. That'll work just the same. And she can gather those questions. We'll cover those first, and then if there's any just ad hoc, then we'll cover those as well. But for now, I just suggest mute your microphone, just to make sure there's not a lot of extra noise. And then feel free to unmute, especially if somehow the video stops. Be sure to let me know. Sometimes that does happen. So a little bit about Max and Hope. First, Max, from 1987 to 2000, worked in the private sector as an environmental consultant and AutoCAD draftsman. He entered the public sector in 2000, working at Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, and is a watershed scientist while earning his master's in environmental planning from ASU with distinction. Since 2004, Max has served as an urban planner for the city of Phoenix and will retire at the end of the year. Since age 15, Max has been passionate about classic car restoration and fine art. He studied art as a teenager while working at the Cleveland Museum of Art and later took courses in painting, printmaking, and graphic design. He's restored numerous classic cars and is currently working on 3 projects he plans to complete in early retirement. He lovingly considers his restored cars as 3D sculptures. Max recently started Enterline Artz, that's arts with a Z, as a car artist or cartist. He creates works featuring classic cars and scenes with people, landscapes, and architecture. He works in pen and ink, oil, pastel, mixed media, and even, surprise, car paint. So art has always supported his professional life, and soon he'll be able to focus on his retirement business full time. Counting the days, right?
yes, sir.
Hope's bio goes as follows. She's lived in Phoenix for over 50 years. After earning a BS in business from ASU, she spent her 30 plus career with a trade show exhibit company, retiring as finance manager, and also had worked in purchasing. A lifelong animal lover, Hope has volunteered and fundraised for local rescue groups, trapping and spaying and neutering dozens of neighborhood cats and supporting the Animal Defense League of Arizona's TNR program. That's Trap, Neuter, Return. And then, with no prior art training, Hope began making cat-themed collages for a rescue fundraiser. So this sparked a new creative passion, and her work now includes collages, purses, ornaments. Most of them are donated to support animal causes. She's now exploring selling her creations under the name Hopeful ArtiCats. And last but not least, Hope and Max met in 2004 and have been married for almost 20 years. So thanks again, Hope and Max, for joining us. I thought we'd start before getting into the questions that we have. Share some of your art right up front. So I have a few pictures of these, and maybe they'll start with Max's pictures. Just you add a comment or two about each one to give us a little bit of context and background, and then same with Hope when we get to some of your art creations. So first, we've got you in front of a real car, not just a car sculpture, right?
Yeah, well, it's a 3D sculpture there.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
a
real deal.
Right. It's a 1969 Fairlane Cobra formal roof 428 R code car. It's a real muscle car and it's very rare. And I've been
Yeah.
working on it forever. 10 years.
Yeah. This one, you have the Cobra, the Ranchero, of course, you already finished and sold.
There's another
So it goes on and on, right? It's so much fun.
Yes,
one.
that's the way the car hobby is. It's very expensive and it's hard to make money at. I will say that.
That's why you need
Yeah, it's
art.
pretty cutthroat, tight competition, but at least you get to put a lot of joy into it.
It's
Oh,
almost
here's some
done.
of the one of the art pieces here.
Right. Those are a couple friends of mine around an old Mercury Montclair at the all Ford show at Sanderson Ford and the or west side of Phoenix over in Glendale. It's a rare car.
And this is a rendition of an actual photo that they gave you.
No, I took the photo with my phone,
Okay.
and that guy's Rocky with his hands in his pockets smiling. And then there's a guy by the hood that's Rich. And they were the ones that helped paint my other car you just saw. So I go to car shows and I take pictures of cars and then I draw them.
That's beautiful. All right. Next one.
That's a recent pen and ink of our vacation in Santa Cruz. And I added the car in the front. There's some debate what the car is. I think it's a Cadillac. It's not a Chevy. I thought it was a Tri-5 Chevy when I drew it, but I've been corrected and I'm not really sure what it is. But I threw the car in. And that's might be my first gallery piece. I'm not in galleries right now, but there's a gallery owner right down the street from there that wants this piece. So I'm hoping to send her a copy.
Love it. That's pen.
Yep, pen and ink.
Next.
So another pen and ink, and it's a combination of three different photographs that I compile. So I sometimes add different photos together to make a composition. It's a four-door Cadillac, a girl in overalls, and a mountainscape behind me where I go hiking in the mornings. I look at the sunrise.
Hmm.
I get a lot of comments on the color palette for this one.
Yeah.
People
That's
like this one.
terrific.
That's why I'm showing it. And this is a recent commission of a Cobra, a 1966 Cobra. It's not an original Cobra, it's a kit car. They call it a Superformance Cobra. The gentleman met me at the coffee bar and asked me to do this for him. He sent me the photo of the car and I added the background from one of my hikes.
I love it. So just one of your hikes is there in the background.
Yes, sir.
Composite art.
I like to put images together. Now, this was an image somebody sent me and they told me I should draw this one. It's been very popular. It's the In-N-Out Burger at LAX.
Ah, there it
And
is.
I think it's a 66 or 67 fastback Mustang in the front, but it has a lot of detail in it. It's also all pen and ink.
That's a Korean Air flight going overhead.
It is.
All right. Yep. Looks like LAX. Oh, we have now
Oh,
arrived at Hope's. It looks like ornaments.
cat ornaments, yes. Different silhouettes, all collaged and decorated up for the cat lovers out there. It's
That's
eight of
terrific.
16 patterns that I have so far. All went to a donation to a fundraiser for a cat rescue group.
And you came up with these patterns?
Yes,
Oh, they're beautiful. They're fun.
they're fun to create.
And we have more cats than that.
We actually have more.
Yes, actual cats, but
Yeah, yeah. It's a
And
labor of love.
this is a sampling of the different collages I made also for three different cat rescue groups. These have gone to just a photograph of a cat that I find. the professional level photograph, so it's nicely posed that I can buy through Shutterstock or things like that. And then I embellish them and put them in different outfits and different themes. And the cat ladies like me love anything cats. So
The cat
they're
ladies.
they're pretty popular with the cat ladies.
That's terrific. They are a lot of fun. Every cat has a special hat. It's a cat
Yes,
and
I
hat
love
play.
the hat aspect on the cat. Yes.
Well, one beach umbrella, I guess, is the hat.
Yes, that was his hat, but everybody else has a hat.
That is fantastic. So you have a lot of different themes going here.
Yes. So that's I've probably done maybe 25 of them. So it's I think I'm getting down to the end of themes that I can think of.
Impossible, impossible. Watch our AI gateway guest, and you'll
Well,
have
there, yeah.
plenty of
Well,
sources
AI
for
could just
ideas.
do the whole thing, and then what help am I?
Never, never. No, no, no. AI just makes you a better artist, even more creative, right? If we use it
I
right.
hope so.
Well, this is fantastic. What an original artwork. Thanks for sharing. This is just a sampling, of course, and I've seen many of these things in real life. A lot of fun, and of course, the restoration work. And did you have anything else to show on camera, Hope, or if you have any of the purses, we'd be happy
Yes,
to.
I have an ornament and I have a purse. So the other thing that I'm doing is I'm putting cat faces on purses. So it's purses that you can get at estate sales and fancy little purses, and I call them catified purses.
Love
So
it.
those have also gone up for auction at the
And
rescue group.
those
So
ornaments are actually a decent size, so they show up
they're
well
a
on
good
your tree.
size. And the back is different than the front because why not? I'm not going to have a blank back on an ornament because that's just not even fair. So I might as well make it different when I'm doing it too. So
A lot of thought and
that's
love
my
put
cat
into it.
crafts.
And
Thank
then
you
behind us
for
is
sharing that.
Yes, we brought in one of Max's
Oh,
back
another
here.
one behind you. Okay.
right. And this is one with landscape architecture, a car, and then my little brother I added down here in the corner. It's probably hard to see in our lighting here. We don't have the best lighting.
Yeah,
And
just on the
then,
thumbnail video. So, but I like it as your background.
and then in answer to your first question, I don't know if you can see this based on the lighting. It's kind of diffused, but this was my first piece that started this whole thing based on a car show I went to that I was working at called the Scottsdale Concours d'Elegance. I wore the orange vest and told people where to go. And I saw
That's
this
great.
guy walking around in a Picasso jacket, and I asked him if I could take his picture and I'd like to draw it. And so I drew him, and that's my number one piece. I've probably done about 200 pieces in the last almost 3 years.
What I'll do is stop the share momentarily so we can maybe see that a little bit bigger, the one behind you and the one that you held up.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know if the problem is the lighting isn't that great in this room we're in.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
his
now we can see a
jacket.
little bit better, I
It's a
think.
pretty cool jacket, but I'm unable to get the lighting. There's kind of this weird glare in this room we're in. So
I think we can see pretty well now. Well, they're terrific. Well, I think now's a good time to start asking a few more questions now about what you've been doing, how we got to this point in your artwork and career. I would say, what inspired you to turn a hobby into a business or even a charity initially, right? Was for both of you. Was it passion, purpose, or maybe just a why not now moment?
is this question to both of us or to one at a time?
I think you each can answer.
Go ahead.
We have time for a brief answer from each of you.
That's fine. I think it's everything you asked. It's passion, purpose, and
Yes.
it's a why not moment. When I go to car shows, I see people taking photographs all the time and then they don't do anything with them. And I decided when I use my phone to take a photograph, I could turn that into art. And then people buy it from me, and sometimes I sell it for charity.
What
Same
charities do you collect and give
combination
to
of
go?
all of them.
Combination of them all. So
of all
really,
of them.
it
Just
takes.
wanting to think of a way donate money to charities, you can donate your time. And I thought, how fun would it be to participate in these other things that they do, auctions, and try and make something that people would like, and it worked out.
Yeah, I've participated in quite a few charity events at the city of Phoenix where I worked over the years. United Way fundraisers that we do. And my latest charity the last few years has been St. Mary's Food Bank. So I like to give to the food banks.
That's terrific. So how did you know your hobby had real business or charitable potential? Was there a demand you noticed, or did people just start asking for you to share or to be able to buy your artwork?
Well, I worked at the counter at the city of Phoenix and City Hall, and people would come up for their permits and talk to me. And I always brought my portfolio with me. And just to break the ice with some of the customers that are angry because they don't want a permit, I would show them the art and it would calm them down. And then they asked me if they could buy it. Or I sometimes had art shows in there for charity. We do that once a year and people buy it. And so I knew there was a demand because people do buy from me. And I think my niche is I can sell to men. Usually men don't buy art. It's more of a woman's market, I found. But the kind of art that I do, men have a car that they love and they want a picture for their wall, for their office, or for their man cave. But I do sell to women too, who buy for their man a lot of
Yeah.
times too. But most of my customers are men.
Yeah, okay. No big surprise.
And then
Most of mine are women.
yeah, we're gender specific here.
Just
So,
finding when things were auctioned off and multiple people are bidding on your item, you think, I think I might have something here that could appeal in the marketplace as well. So,
so moving into more of a business approach as there's more exposure and word of mouth and opportunities to sell. How do you think you'll balance the joy of your hobby with the business side, pricing, marketing, even taxes, without losing the fun? Are we getting there yet?
I think we're getting there yet. I'm worried about in my situation to scale up the quantity to be out there. Is it just going to become a chore and will I lose the joy then? But the marketing and stuff, taxes, I don't think we're there yet to know if it's going to be a joy robber or not.
Well, so far for me, I'm still in transition from being a full-time employee with a government job. But I recently learned in my retirement classes that if you are before your full retirement age and Social Security, they'll penalize you if you make more than $23,400 a year.
So don't do
And
that.
I've probably made 4 to 6 thousand a year in the last few years just doing art on weekends. But because January 1's coming and I will be unemployed and retired,
Retired.
I could draw 7 days a week now. And maybe I could turn it into enough income for the next 2 years where I don't get penalized. That's the hope.
Okay, that's a good financial planning point. Is that Social Security question? Are you making too much potentially, and
Right.
um, how could that
Six,
impact that?
67 is my full retirement age right now. So I
Very
have
good.
2 years to stay under the radar. If people pay me with cash,
Don't, Tim can't hear stuff like that.
so, and the other thing is I just started my first QR code and I started my LLC about a month and a half ago. But mostly what I'm doing right now is selling word of mouth out of a coffee bar. I draw at the coffee bar. And for me, that's my joy. I get to draw in front of people and people come up and we have conversations. I really like hanging out in my local coffee bar called 32 Shea. It's a very nice coffee
Okay.
bar. So that they
One of your
promote my
works
art.
I've seen is there in front of it.
Yeah, it's on the wall there. And I
That's
sometimes
it.
sell off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you currently earn enough revenue to at least cover your hobby's expenses?
I'm not I'm not sure because I haven't totaled my receipts. There's so many of them, but I would say no.
I keep wanting to buy more things to play with. So no.
Okay. And then nothing
And
really wrong with that, right?
No,
But do you foresee there being enough revenue to cover expenses if you put some more effort into the marketing side?
I think you will.
yeah,
Definitely
I
Max will.
well, I've had some customers that have spent up to $1,200 on art with me or more, and my supplies don't cost that much to sell them
It's all your
two or
time.
three pieces.
It's all your time. It's how do you
And time
price
can
your
be money.
time?
So, is there anything you wish you knew financially before you started selling your craft or service?
I think so. Not
Well,
necessarily. We're not to that
I
point where it's so great that we
yeah,
have to rethink it.
I still don't know everything. It's a brand new thing for me. I've never had a small business, but I'm curious. All these receipts you're asking me about that I've spent last year and this year, if I earn the money next year, can I write that off? And she keeps saying no, but I think I can. What do you think?
It's an accountant question,
Yeah,
CPA, not me.
right. Consult your accountant. Um, but yeah, definitely keeping track of the receipts, the data should
That's a
make a
lot
big
of
difference.
the bookkeeping that comes with a hobby turned into business.
We don't want to take the joy out of the hobby, that's for sure.
Right.
And I guess the other thing I'm have some trepidation about is going online. Everybody, all the artists I've interviewed who have businesses in art, they all have a website, they have an Instagram site, and I don't have either one of those things yet, but I am planning on opening one up in January. But it is risky, I hear. There's issues
Mhm.
with Facebook and Instagram where they actually can own your image once you've published it
Uh,
online.
Yikes.
So
Etsy
I
is
have to look,
another popular website for artwork.
yeah, Etsy is another
Yeah.
one. But I do think I could sell a lot more if I went online. And then the other thing I wish I knew more about as an artist is entering art shows. They're very competitive and they ask for a lot of things. It's like a job interview. They ask for a resume, they ask for a cover letter, they ask for a letter of intent, references, and then something I learned about, they call it a curriculum vitae. And I thought the CV was actually your grades or what classes you took in college. But an artist curriculum vitae is not the same thing. It's all the places you've ever showed your art and where and when it happened. So I have to do some research and figure out what my curriculum vitae looks like. And then maybe I can enter art shows and I can get in those. That's my goal.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, a lot of work, but the more you look into it, the more you learn. Have you thought about how either of these businesses might fit into your retirement plan or supplement your income long term? Do you have that lofty of an ambition?
Maybe just extra spending money so that he can the money from the art goes right back into the car restoration. So it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, that's true. Classic cars cost money and they're not cheap. So
So to at least cover your expenses, it sounds like, but there's not an expectation to actually be turning a profit yet.
I don't think we know what to expect yet. It's just so new.
Yeah,
if the internet part takes off, then I might be really busy mailing art out or sending art out. They have companies that do that for you too. So I've heard about
right.
them, but I'm not so sure I want to do that. I don't want to lose the joy of creating art. That's the thing that artists have a struggle with typically is they don't want to commercialize their art. They just want to create. So I have to figure out a balance for that. But I do enjoy the creation side. I just it'd be nice to make money on the side too, and I managed to do that.
Okay.
So if someone in your generation is thinking, I'd love to turn my hobby into income, but I don't know where to start, what advice could you already give um, to that question?
Well, ask around, ask other people how they did it. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm interviewing artists that made money in the past, or that was their full-time job. I met one yesterday at the coffee bar that explained that she's doing the opposite of me. She's now doing another business, but she was an artist before. So I'm was in another business and now I'm doing art. We're in reverse but it was interesting meeting her and talking to her about her business.
Yeah. Talking to others like yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe don't be shy. Get to know people in the
Yeah.
industry. Maybe even join social media groups that are involved and ask
Yes.
lots of questions, right?
Different associations. Yes.
I had an art show the other day at the park where the farmers market is at 32 and 32, 32nd and Northern. There's a big park there. And I didn't really sell much art, but I made connections for commissions. So I already made some money off of a commission. And there's a second one coming from the same person. So I drew his 63 and a half Galaxy.
So you might not make a sale on the spot, but you might get some future work out of your
Right.
situations.
Yeah, make connections, attend
Mhm.
shows, right? I mean, if you already love doing it, that's easy.
Yeah.
Super. Well, why don't we turn it over to our audience for some additional questions? And I may add a question or two of my own. But let me ask,
Well,
go ahead, Don.
I I really got a lot out of this because my wife is a crafter
Ah,
and she does things because she likes to do them. So it's I mean the parallel of being in it for the enjoyment of doing it as opposed to selling it is it sounds like some of the discussions we've had in the house and uh, I've just found this all really interesting and my hobby was writing, but I finished all that for a while anyway. So, um, uh,
Yes, remind us of the name of your book that you wrote
yeah,
in retirement.
I think we
um,
saw his book at Max's house.
managed to turn that into an audiobook,
Oh,
and that was a whole nother area that I hadn't been prepared. Some people said you should do that, so I did it, and I don't know if anybody's buying it besides me and my daughter and my wife, but they said they'd like to listen to it while they do other things. And so this has all really been very interesting. You know, if we want to take it the next step, then we need to start listening to some of the points that you made.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Don.
And so for somebody who wants to have their car, their classic, does it have to be a classic car, Max,
no.
or just their favorite car?
I I drew a young lady in front of her modern Charger, and I've drawn a 2017 Corvette, the guy with his dog. So it's just basically a photograph that they can send me on their phone, and then I can turn that into the art. My process, I didn't explain it, but I have an example. This is my wife sitting in a car that I once restored in front of Papago Park, where the hole in the rock is. And I use a light table to get the likeness of the car and the person. And this is my light table and a photograph on it. So that's my process.
Ah,
And I use very fine etching paper. It's an oil-based etching paper from France. It's thick paper, so it's hard to see through. But I like the paper, the texture, and it comes out really nice when I use oil-based inks or paints. And when I bring the light box with me to the coffee bar, people walk up and want to know what I'm doing. They see me staring at this light table and drawing on it, and they're curious.
It's
yeah,
really
you
been a
see.
big thing for gifts too,
Mhm.
for people. He's done retirement gifts, birthday gifts, commemorative gifts. People have said, "Oh, I have this picture of my dad when he was 25 in front of his 19, whatever car, and I would love to have that as a piece to remember and buy or a gift." So they really, it's a nice thing to give people.
Yeah, I do a lot of father portraits.
Have you ever done any work on the spot live for a customer?
So now you're talking about plein air. That's a different kind of skill set. I'd like to do some. in the future. You just set up your easel and start painting a landscape. I really like landscapes. It's one of my favorite things. But I suppose I could do that.
Or can just do that in front of them.
Well,
Do the sketching.
I was thinking about investing in a special generator for the car shows called the Patriot. It's solar powered. And then I could plug in my 110 to the light table and just draw
Do it right
on the
there.
back of the tailgate of the truck that I have. I have a couple of trucks too. One's going to be an art truck. It's a 65 Econoline 3-window pickup with a 302. It's a goofy truck.
I love it. And then speaking of work to come, Hope, do you have any other cat art that you have in mind of starting? Anything that you're thinking of doing?
No, I'm just with these right now. I don't know what the next step will be, but I have a art show that I will be donating to in March and one in April. So just in time to finish Christmas ornaments, it'll be on to the next project.
She's making some for my body guy right now. He wants a black cat.
Yes, ornaments for gifts for his daughters. So
Yeah. Well, it's a wonderful way to get exposure, spread word is through charitable works. I mean, you do a number of good things, right? Help out a good cause, meet great people,
yeah.
and they love what you're doing, even charitably. So I think that really puts an extra positive spin on fun art that you're both doing. I think that's all we have time for. Really appreciate that. I do have one more question though,
Uh-oh.
and this is our signature closing. So at Gateway Financial Partners, we're all about making the most of now and planning for the future. So if you could each name one thing that you hope to live to experience, we'd like to know.
Well, besides going back to Tahiti, we did that once. I really would like to see my art in a gallery and a gallery show. And who knows, maybe even a museum someday. But I think I have to cut my ear off first, though.
No, don't do that.
That-
Travel, travel, travel. I
Yeah.
gotta see
Tahiti.
more of Europe.
She wants to travel.
That's what I want to see. And hoping that someone stops AI robots from taking over the world. But that's another story. No Terminator, please. We don't want that.
Yeah, we're all wondering that nowadays. Anything to add,
Terminators,
Hope?
That's it.
Terminators don't like cats, but they like cars.
Oh, the cats will save us.
Yeah.
There you go. The cats are going to save us from the robots.
Yeah.
That's the ending comment.
Well, for anybody interested in learning more or obtaining artwork for yourself or for a charitable cause, Hope and Max at cox.net is their shared email address, and they'd love to hear from you and hope that you can spread the word as well. But thanks so much for just sharing your insights. You know, it's
Yeah,
so
thank
important
you.
to retire
Thanks.
to something, not just golf and travel, but to actually be actively engaged in a worthwhile pastime or passion and bring about some extra good too. I think it's fantastic. If you make a little money on the way, maybe a lot, even better.
Why not?
Don, you were saying?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much for the opportunity to listen
Thank you.
and
Thank you,
see.
Don. Awesome.
Listen and
Thanks.
see.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas to you.